Hey everybody, and welcome back to Manis by Megan. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve this gorgeous sunset ombre using a few colors from Mani Boss. The first color is going to be Pinky Promise, and the second color is going to be Sweet Summertime. They come in our cute little jars here. Next thing you're going to need is a couple of ombre brushes. I like to use one for each color, just so that way you don't cross-contaminate the powders. And as you can see, I've already poured the powders into a cupcake liner. It does make it a whole lot easier. The second thing you're going to need is a dust brush. That way you can dust off in between. Then you're going to need your dip liquids, and then I'll show you how to encapsulate after. Okay, so let's get started. I've got one nail prepped and ready to go. I am just going to do one quick swipe with a little bit of alcohol. I do just keep my alcohol in a little container like this, a little pump. Just get one pump of that. Give it a quick swipe and let that dry. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with our dip base coat. And you're going to start with, I like to start with the top color first and then the bottom color second, and then we'll alternate. So I'm going to do one layer of my dip base coat all the way down to the cuticle. Avoid the skin. I'm just going to swirl the brush around in the powder. Kind of tilt your nail back a little bit, and then we'll just start tapping. You want to tap to about half of the nail. And we'll tap off the excess here. And then we're going to move on to the bottom half of the nail. And what we're going to do is tilt our nail down this time. And just tap away till you meet that middle line there. And you do want them to overlap a little bit. This is how it's going to create that ombre effect and blend it a little bit better. And we'll tap off the excess here. As you can see, we're already getting started with that ombre. So we'll give that just a second to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to grab my little dust brush here. And then we'll go ahead and dust off. And we'll move on to the next layer. So again, we're just going to do one quick coat of dip base coat. And the great thing about our base coat is it is not super quick drying, so you do have some time to work with it. So make sure you cover that whole nail. And now we're going to start from the bottom, and then we'll do the top second. So like I said, when you're working on the bottom, you're going to want to tilt your nail downwards. Start at the cuticle, and then kind of tap upwards till you meet that middle line. You can go over it just a little bit. It helps it to blend. We'll knock off the excess here. Then I'll move back to the pink. We'll tap again, tilting your nail upward this time so that the powder falls down towards the middle. And we'll shake off the excess. And if you notice any moisture, you can go ahead and add a little bit more on each side. Just so that way the dip liquids will absorb the powder. I'll tap that excess off again. As you can see, it's a little wet on the tip still. It's looking really, really good. Obviously, you see the finished result is beautiful. And we'll go ahead and dust off. And the last step is going to be one more layer, and then I'll show you two different ways to encapsulate this. So I'm going to go in with my final layer of dip base coat here. As you can see, this is just a super quick and easy way to do an ombre. And I'm going to start with the pink this time. always like to end with the tip of the nail as the first one. It's just my preference. You can start from the bottom if you like. Okay. So the orange still looks a little wet, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit more here. Just let it set for a second. I'll go ahead and dust that off. And so this time it looks like the pink took over a little bit more, so I am going to show you a quick fix. We're just going to go back in here. Just tap a little bit of the orange down here at the bottom to bring that back up to the top. And we'll tap the pink back on. See how that looks. It's looking kind of perfect. Okay, so the next step, sometimes it doesn't turn out how you want, so you have to kind of mess with it a little bit. Next step for this encapsulation, we're going to do the activator, and then I'm going to use our 2-in-1 gel to encapsulate. So we'll activate, let that dry and harden. Since we did so many layers, I just did a couple layers of activator just so it can soak through. So I am gonna do a 2-in-1 gel top coat encapsulation on my thumb, but some people don't use gel. And just by the way, our shop is 100% HEMA free. So if you are allergic to HEMA, then you will be safe in our shop. So we're gonna go ahead and do the clear encapsulation on a swatch stick, just so I can show you how that's done. So this one I've already done, and then I'm gonna take the dip base coat. We'll do 1 layer of clear. Give that a second. Just dip it one more time just to absorb all the dip base. We'll dust that off. Next thing we're going to need is our activator. Let that dry. In the meantime, while that one's drying, I'm just going to go ahead and file this, shape it up a little bit. And we'll do that encapsulation with the 2-in-1 after I finish with the clear. Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go ahead and just file this. Let's just pretend like we're doing our regular fingernails here. File it, and then we're going to give it a quick buff with our Mani Boss buffing block. Just keep that ombre perfect. That's what the clear encapsulation is for. gonna go in with our activator one more time. Grab a lint-free wipe. And then we will do our Mani Boss dip top coat. Do a couple of quick layers here. And I'm gonna wipe it off on the paper towel. Give that a second. You're gonna kind of see it wrinkle a little bit. Once it gets to that wrinkly point, then we're gonna go ahead and apply our second layer of top coat. Make sure you cap your edges. And that is going to be your dip ombre with all three dip liquids: dip base, dip activator, and dip top coat, with a clear dip powder encapsulation. Now I'm going to show you just really quickly our 2-in-1. This one's going to be super easy as well. Just going to clean up some of this powder on my skin. So it's nice and clean when we're done. Okay. All right, so I am going to take a lint-free wipe and just clean my nail with a little bit of alcohol, just so there's no dust underneath. I'm going to apply the first layer of the 2-in-1. Make sure that when you're using any gel product that you avoid your skin. If you do get the product on your skin, make sure you clean it off completely before curing, okay? This is why people get allergies. To gel products. So I'm going to go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. Okay, now that it's cured for 60 seconds, I'm going to take my buffing block. I'm just going to buff it really smooth. I'm just going to take my file and clean up that edge really quick. Make sure that cuticle area is nice and tidy. Clean cuticles make for a beautiful manicure. If you find that you can't get some of it out, then you can just take one of our cuticle sticks. We do sell these in a 10-pack on the website. And just kind of scrape some of that excess powder out if it got stuck on your skin. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take our lint-free wipe one more time. Clean up the nail. And then one more layer of our 2-in-1, and I'm going to cure this for 90 seconds this time. Just to make sure it's fully cured. You can, depending on your wattage, I use a 48 watt UV/LED. So if you have a higher wattage, you can go and stick with the 60 seconds. I just prefer 90 seconds. Make sure you cap those edges, that way your gel doesn't peel. So shiny. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cure that for the 90 seconds and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we're fully cured, and the final step of every manicure is to put on some delicious Candy Skincare Cuticle Oil. This is my favorite scent, it's Royal Treatment, and we do carry this in the Mani Boss shop. We also have another one called New Moon Glow, and it is delicious. Just gonna apply that all over our cuticles. Make sure you get underneath the nail as well. You wanna nourish the entire thing. This helps to prevent any lifting, early lifting, chipping, and all that stuff. So once you have applied your cuticle oil, you can rub it in if you like, and then enjoy your beautiful manicure. I hope this tutorial helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. I thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.